What's up guys, Taylor here, and it is Tokyo Game Show 2015. I'm so excited. So last night / this morning, depending on where you were in the world, Sony had their 2015 Tokyo Game Show press conference. This is like my bigger than E3 sometimes, where they announce a bunch of cool Japanese games that most people don't really care about, but I just drool over. And this year was pretty good. There were two notable omissions, namely The Last Guardian and Persona 5, although I feel like Persona 5, we're gonna get a ton of that at this stage event coming this weekend, but that's besides the point. This video, I wanted to talk about all the cool stuff that was going down at Sony's Tokyo Game Show press conference. And the one, obviously, that I want to talk about most, that I'm I can't even talk right. But the one I want to talk about most that got me the most excited was Gravity Rush 2 for PS4 and Gravity Rush Remastered for PS4. Now, I've been waiting so long for Gravity Rush 2. Two TGSs ago, they showed this like little teaser, and it was just like, new project from Team Gravity, let's fall again. And I'm like, okay, well, they never really said anything since. They just showed that little teaser. They didn't even really call it Gravity Rush 2. They just threw it out there. It was Kat flying around and she landed, and that was it. But this, it was a blowout of Gravity Rush. It was so awesome. So they showed, first of all, the PS4 port of Gravity Rush, and it looks better. They've touched it up a bit, and it's being done by Bluepoint, the guys that did Shadow of Colossus and Eco Collection and the upcoming Nathan Drake Collection on PS4. So these guys know their stuff. They're awesome. So that looked incredible. And then when they showed Gravity Rush 2, holy crap, man. Like they really polished up the graphics. It looks way better. The world is just absolutely massive. They showed Kat running around and then just sort of flying around the city. And the thing that gets me most excited is it looks like they fixed the combat. Because I feel like if you played it, most people would say that the combat was a little wonky. It's probably the game's weakest aspect, but overall, oh man, I'm so excited. I can't believe we're finally getting Gravity Rush 2 after waiting so long. And the PS4 remaster is coming, I believe, February 9th or February 8th in 2016, and then sometime next year we're gonna be getting Gravity Rush 2 proper. So very excited, definitely the highlight of the show for me. But there were definitely a bunch of other cool games that they showed. The next, not necessarily a game, but an expansion for Bloodborne, which I would consider my game of the year so far for 2015. So more Bloodborne is awesome. And it's called The Old Hunters or The New Hunters or something like that. And it's coming out in November, and there's like tons of new weapons, tons of new monsters. They had this one, it was like a big spinning saw blade, and there's like a mace that had like a firebomb in it, so when you would hit guys with it, it would explode. Like, it looked incredible. I'm like super excited for that. I've been kind of waiting for an excuse to kind of dive back into Bloodborne. I started up a New Game Plus and I kind of got through a little bit, but then I just, for whatever reason, just didn't care. But now this is definitely gonna get me to, dive back in, and they're doing like a package, I believe, where it'll be like the original game plus the expansion, I think for 40 or 60 bucks or something like that. So if you have not played Bloodborne yet and you've been waiting or whatever, definitely check that one out. I believe it's November 24th or late November is when that's coming out if you're not playing Fallout, which I know a lot of people will be doing. And then, the conference got kind of weird for a little bit. They announced, we were always wondering, like, okay, so they had every Kingdom Hearts game except Dream Drop Distance for 3DS. And then we were like, okay, how are they gonna, obviously they want to do it. Square Enix said as much, they want to incorporate that in an HD version somehow. And so they created this package called Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD Prologue, I believe was the full title. So it's got Dream Drop Distance from 3DS. It was this other like key or cross black chain or something weird. And then it was some Birth by Sleep 0.2, not 1.2, but 0.2. And I believe that was just some kind of movie or something. So that was a weird one. And it's funny because that was coming off the heels of this guy that supposedly had a 2.9, something that he put on his LinkedIn profile. He had worked on Kingdom Hearts 2.9. We're like, what is this? So maybe 2.9 is all of them in one super mega package. But for now, we've got 2.8 Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. I don't even know if we'll get it because a lot of those games I don't think ever came to America, or maybe that's why they're doing this. I don't know. So that was definitely a weird one. Now, for my opinion, the low point of the conference was when Capcom came up there and they showed off this game called, I don't even know if it was called Resident Evil, but it was just called the Umbrella Corps or Umbrella Corps. I never know how to say that. C-O-R-P-S, figure it out, English. I never know how to say that word. So what it is a squad-based multiplayer shooter, and you play as Umbrella troops or something. And it's like, guys, nobody cares. Like, what are you doing? Don't you remember Operation Raccoon City? I mean, everybody loved that, right? Operation Raccoon City, best game ever. No. So that was a big dud. That was, in my opinion, the low point. And because everybody was like, oh, it's, you know, this is Resident Evil's 20th anniversary in 2016, and they brought up this new logo and they showed all the games. So everybody was like, oh, maybe this will be Resident Evil 7. And I was thinking like, okay, sure, it's time for Resident Evil 7. Well, why not? Or maybe something, but nope, we got whatever this garbage is. Destined to fail, destined to fail. There was this game, I think it was called Neo or Nio or something. It essentially looked like a hack and slash samurai game. I think it was by Koei Tecmo. I'm really, you know, I gotta give credit where credit's due to Koei Tecmo. These guys have really stepped their game up in the last couple of years, you know. They were mainly just Dynasty Warriors guys and whatever, but then they put that gameplay stamp on Zelda, on Dragon Quest, on One Piece, and they've really been stepping the game up. They got that cool Attack on Titan game coming out, so you know, we'll see what's going on with Neo. Well, that could be a pretty interesting game. One game from Square Enix that they showed again. This game's already been announced and it's coming to the West. They said it's coming, but they showed a quick little gameplay clip of Star Ocean 5: Integrity and Faithlessness, I believe is the subtitle. Very weird, typical Square Enix nonsense. But there's this quick clip they showed of them walking around in an open field and then running up to this castle town, and they showed some bits of gameplay, and I was kind of blown away, I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't have any expectations for Star Ocean 5, but then I saw that clip and I'm like, wow, this game looks pretty incredible. I'm really excited for this game now. Trius is stepping their game up, which I thought was interesting considering they got bought out by that mobile company, so I thought for sure they were done making console games, but here we go. This game's looking really good, so you know, I got my fingers crossed. It comes out, I believe, in February in Japan. My prediction is that it'll come out September, August timeframe in America. And then there's two last games that I wanted to make mention of that I thought were kind of interesting. One was a new King of Fighters. SNK Playmore, another company that I thought was doomed for sure. But they're making a new King of Fighters. I don't particularly care for fighting games, and especially King of Fighters didn't, I mean, whatever. There's people out there that do like it. And the thing about it that was interesting is that it's not Sprite. It looked like 3D models. So it'll be interesting to see how that game turns out and if it has a spot in the greater fighting game ethos, you know, out there with Street Fighter V and whatnot. And then the last game that got me pretty excited was Square's new Tokyo RPG Factory game. Now, I don't know if this was given a name at the conference. It was all in Japanese. I couldn't tell, and there was like no English text at all. It was a very small, just like, oh, here's some gameplay. But it looked very Bravely Default-ish, but like a little bit higher resolution, and it was like in this snowy environment. It looked really nice. It looked super pretty, and I was really, really excited about that. So that studio just got announced, like I believe at E3. So it's cool that they're already showing out their first project. I don't know when that's due out. I don't know if they had any kind of time frame, but that looked neat for sure. Dragon Quest Builders got a release date. That looks neat. I don't know if we're gonna get it in the West, but it's coming out early next year too. It's basically take Minecraft, take RPG Maker, and slap a Dragon Quest coat of paint on it, and there you go. Looks fun. I'm all about that building stuff. I loved RPG Maker back in the day. That should be a cool one. Oh, and lastly, but certainly not least, I don't really know what this is, but they announced Danganronpa 3. It was very vague what it was. It made it seem like all the Monokuma bears are going to be the characters or something, or it had something to do with virtual reality. It was very unclear what this was. So, but yes, Danganronpa 3 got announced. It's a thing that's coming out on not only on Vita, but also on PS4. So that'll be interesting. Maybe they're hoping to expand to a wider audience in the West, since they we've all really loved Danganronpa games so far, at least the first 2 mainline. We won't say so much about the other episode, but anyways guys, I think I'm going on way too long here, but I really wanted to come out and talk about Tokyo Game Show. This is only the beginning. There's definitely going to be more announcements as the week goes on, especially pertaining to Persona, maybe The Last Guardian, maybe the next Tales game. We'll see, maybe we'll get lucky with some Last Guardian and, not Last Guardian, but Kingdom Hearts and some more Final Fantasy stuff, but definitely the highlight of the show for me was Gravity Rush 2 and the Gravity Rush Remaster. So for all you guys that don't have a Vita, never got a chance to play it, here's your opportunity. It's gonna look great on PS4, and it's gonna be a ton of fun, and I'm so happy that Kat is getting another game. She's one of my favorite mascots for PlayStation, and she really deserves some more love. So I'm excited, and I'm hoping that the game is just gonna kill it, and people are gonna really love it. So what are your thoughts, guys, on the Tokyo Game Show press conference from Sony? Did you enjoy it? Did you even get a chance to watch it? If not, I'll leave that in the description below so you can watch the entire thing. Make sure you catch a bunch of the trailers that are awesome, especially the Gravity Rush and the Star Ocean 5 ones. Those really blew me away. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and look forward to more TGS coverage, and hope you're having a great week. See you later.